Welcome back to another video. I've been working on a blueprint book for bidirectional rails. So usually I prefer to use the single direction or the single direction 2-lane rails. But I found that for Vulcanus and Fulgora, it's better to use just bidirectional rails so that you save space. So I've got some blueprints for that. I've got a 3-way intersection and a 4-way intersection. These mostly just use the chain signals because it's important in bidirectional rails to not get deadlocked by having two trains trying to go the same direction, meeting head on, and then they're just stuck there forever. So in most of the track you don't really need signals at all because you just want one train on that at a time. But I do have a passing zone. So this is a little section that's single directional. So this top part here, this only lets rails going to the left, or trains going to the left. This bottom one only lets trains going to the right. And it has a rail signal in so that the trains can sit there and they don't block other trains while they're sitting there waiting. I've also got a large passing zone, kind of the same idea but with a bunch of different ones. It's kind of like a stacker. I don't know if you would need that big one. I haven't needed it yet, but you know, just made it in case. Normally on bi-directional rails like this, you would have a lot lower traffic. So to make stations, what I usually do is I just put a 3-way intersection there. And then got a blueprint here for a single station. And I've also got one for multi-station so that you can stack them like this. And then I've got the loading stations and unloading stations created specifically for these. So these, they only use a train limit of 1 because unlike my rail designs for 2-lane, I don't want to have trains stacking up, queuing up for a station. So they check if there's enough space or items for one train, and then they allow one train. They don't allow multiple trains. So I've got the loading, unloading stations like that. And since these are going to use double-headed trains, there's no need to have any turnaround or anything. They can just pull in and then back out. I've also got the fluid stations here, although they're also changed so that they only request a single train. So to test this out, I'm going to use my little blueprint here that converts from a bidirectional to a 2-lane track. I've got a test station here I can use. I'm going to copy this and put it on all 4 ends of this track here. So now we've got a fair bit of train traffic going through our intersection here. It kind of hurts me that it's so inefficient compared to 2 rails. But again, generally you wouldn't have this level of traffic on a single rail system. you would just have a couple trains running around delivering ores or something like that. So it shouldn't be a huge problem in practice. And then this is some traffic on the three-way intersection. The four-way, at least, you can have two trains in it at once if they're both turning right. But the three-way can only have one train at a time, because it always has to block two of the rails. Alright, I've got blueprints up for this, and I will be using it on Vulcanus in my Space Age playthrough. Thanks for watching.